Hey, what's going on, fam? I never thought I'd be using the Catharsis Mask this way, but man, it's the perfect setup. In the midst of the most difficult content, I find myself free of worry while I comfortably coast through these legendary strongholds, knowing that this build has my back. Infinite bonus armor, everlasting heals, and perpetual damage. This is, by the way, for your entire team. This is the dream healer support build that I've been sleeping on for so long, but not anymore. And shout out to 𝐸𝐴 He hopped in my stream while I was playing Legendary with the squad, insisted that I make a setup like this.
Galvanized, baby, I'm telling you.
Who that? That's
𝐸𝐴, I joined onto the
Discord.
Yeah,
okay,
that's cool. I didn't try that. Yeah.
So you can hear yourself right here, huh? The stream.
I don't know if I can hear my because I have a USB headset hooked up with a camera and a little USB mic.
What's so special about Galvanized? Like, what are you trying? Why are you pushing Galvanized so hard?
Because here's the thing. When I set it up, you got Galvanized on the backpack, then you got Adrenaline Intimidate on the chest, right?
Yeah.
So you make your shock trap the biggest radius you can in whatever skill tier. I got Armor Gen and makes it all has pro. So you throw your shock trap out, right? In the front. Let's say it's this District Union, the first point. You throw your shock trap out in the front. Everyone hangs back a little bit. When those dudes run through to get shocked, everyone that's in a certain radius ends up getting bonus armor each time the people get shocked. I don't think it's a cooldown. So then if they already have, if they're doing, Adrenaline Rush or whatever, the Intimidate, they're getting the increased weapon damage. Now you got everyone's running the Scorpio shotgun. The Scorpio shotgun, hits them with a shock after a couple shots. And it's just not that first. So it stacks up. So I could do one shot, you do a second shot, that counts. So by that other shock, now you're staggering them. You're shocking them. Galvanized is proccing. You're getting the bonus.
So it's infinite.
Yeah. And then what I do also, I throw a heal hive down on the side just for a thing. And when you spec up the heal hive, it gives you, it gives you distance. It gives you just time it stays out. Same thing with the shock trap. But the cool thing is that when you throw the shock trap out and the drones come, it shocks the drones.
Oh, did you see how epic that explosion was? I heard you, bro. Yeah, I hear you. So like, it helps out in every way. All right.
Yeah.
So what you want me to do? Just like take this build off and go back and get in the lab and make it. Like let's.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's going to work.
Okay, just I don't want to leave just yet, okay? But I'm
you do it later when you get around to it.
Yeah, for sure. But bro, that right there sounds super legit because I was trying to figure out a way to fight those bosses at the end.
Yeah, that can lock them down.
And the crazy thing is that it's so versatile that I swapped out a few talents from another build and altered it into this one. So you can most likely do the same. There are multiple ways to do this, and you choose how once you see the build, so check it out. Now I know that Scorpio is considered meta for CC and Legendary, but it's never been more relevant to a build ever in my opinion. So that's the primary I'm using and I rarely put it down. I do if I run out of ammo or need to shoot from mid to long range. Fortunately, the secondary is very good, and honestly, 𝐸𝐴 has been severely overshadowed by the capacitor. 𝐸𝐴 is just not worth using over it. But for builds like this, where I can use the capacitor, this test subject fits like a glove. But before we go any further, I want to emphasize the synergy this Scorpio brings and how it allows for you and your team to have infinite bonus armor. Look at the Scorpio's Septic Shock talent. Once you get to 3, then 6 stacks, you first disorient, then shock the enemy NPC. You probably don't realize how devastating this is in regards to my build. Check out the backpack. I'm using 𝐸𝐴 with Galvanized. I used this talent long ago on a build I made called Blind Fury. Classic build. But for this, it's an entire different level. Applying a blind, ensnare, confuse, or shock to an enemy grants 40% of your armor as bonus armor to allies within 20 meters of that enemy for 10 seconds. 20 meters is a wide radius, first of all, but this is insane. Confuse is considered disorient if you didn't know, and you do already know that the shock is the same. So every single time you reload and empty a full clip of Scorpio, you and your entire team will be getting tons of bonus armor. There's no cooldown on this, so it's perpetually occurring. This is only the beginning, fam. Let me go straight into the skills I use so you can see how much of an animal this is. The shock trap is exceptional in legendary difficulty, first of all. This is another source of CC that locks enemies down for 6 seconds. That's long enough for your team to melt anybody, including Chungas. It will grant another layer of bonus armor to your team every time an enemy is shocked by each trap. While all of this is happening, I'm providing healing to the team with the Restore Hive, a huge radius because of the skill tiers I have. But the potency of all this is only made possible with how I have the attributes rolled. When I first made this build, it wasn't my intention to make it this way, but it worked out. And the attributes you want are status effects and repair skills. It's how the shock trap lasts for 6 seconds and healing is so good. So looking at the build, I have everything needed to be a healer. It's why I have the 𝐸 for 20% incoming repairs, 2 511 for another 20% incoming repairs, and 2 Murakami for repair skills. With that Murakami though, I made sure to use Emperor's Guard named knee pads. This and Catharsis mask are what gives me some armor regen. Because you see, armor regen alongside healing is a great accelerator with you while you're being healed, so it's good to have some at least. This means that you'll always be alive. This is especially important being that you're the healer and support, the one everyone counts on to get through tough situations. Real quick, if you're getting value out of this, then I'd appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. It really helps. Now, I discussed with you the survivability aspect of this. Now, let's get into the damage. Catharsis. Only one other time I've used this mask, but I had to use it for this. Vicious Cycle is the exotic talent, and it grants you an infinite cycle of healing and damage. So taking damage is essential for this to work well for you. I have no problem with that because I'm always on the front lines taking damage, and every bullet I get hit with grants me a stack of 1% weapon damage up to 30%. Then at 30 stacks, the mask drops a healing cloud that restores 5% of your max armor for 10 seconds to all allies within the cloud. I've never known a better way to run Catharsis, although my armor is not that high at 1.2 million, but it's been tested and proven in the field, so none of the speculation matters. Next, I've got Intimidate, another perfect talent for a build like this. Intimidate was changed last patch, and now requires you to get bonus armor by means other than Adrenaline Rush. They wanted to break up that meta, which was good. And getting bonus armor with Adrenaline Rush is good, not as good as before. But with this method, it is insane because you always have bonus armor by simply shooting the enemy with the Scorpio. Then with the shock trap, you know the formula. But this talent, Intimidate, doesn't have a cooldown either. The only thing it says is that all weapon stacks are lost when you have no bonus armor, because depending on how many stacks of bonus armor you have will grant up to 35% weapon damage to enemies within 10 meters, which you'll always be because you're using a Scorpio. Listen fam, I can't stress to you more about how much of a beast this build is. I think I've covered everything. If you have anything to add, then please don't hesitate to comment below. Also tell me if you've been using this setup or something similar. And if you're interested in builds from DPS all the way to skill, make sure to like and subscribe for dedicated Division 2 content. The hype train is moving, y'all, and I have more builds and content for you. Just click on one of these videos to see what I got. I'll see you there. Be right out.